So I have been afflicted by a terrible cold.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether or not I can do the episode, honestly, at my full capacity. But just to be quick, I want to run an Andrew diagnostic test.
Okay. How does that work?
What does that consist of?
Just give me an animal.
Aardvark.
Okay, aardvark. Did you know that aardvarks are apotherians, which means they're related to elephants, manatees, and hyraxes? Did you know that?
I didn't.
There you go. Okay, I'm up. I'm good to go.
So if you have an animal fact that someone knows, then you're no longer Andrew.
Yeah, it's like Thor.
Makes sense.
Oh man, that's
like I become unworthy, and then Natalie Portman becomes
that's
Andrew.
Like wait. Was it D&D? It was either Genrebot or D&D when there was this moment of silence, and somebody was just like, "Somebody say
D&D.
something." And Andrew just said, like, armadillos can have 6 young at a time, or something like that.
No, Victor, that's wrong. Armadillos have 4 young at a time, they're always the same gender, and they can actually hold off on delivering the young in case it's time of famine time.
Now, does it count if I knew that because you already told me that?
Yes, it does, but that is... I didn't bring it up, Victor did.
Okay, fair enough. You are successfully 100% Andrew.
Hooray! I inserted a little, like, Andrew theme there. I don't know what it's going to be. I was going to do the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da from Zelda, but I always do that one.
It's Final Fantasy.
It's a good one.
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't. The only video game I play is Zoo Tycoon 2. That's how I know so many animal facts, man. Welcome. Nope. I was going to sing it. I don't think that's a good plan. All right, welcome to Genrebot, the group rating machine. This is the podcast where we come in with a genre, create 3 original characters, put them together into a movie consisting of those characters in that genre. Some restrictions apply. See store for details. I am your host for this episode. I'm Andrew. I'm 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, a little out of shape. I honestly need to start working out more, but I feel like if I do that, I'll just be doing what my parents want, and that's like going against all my instincts. I don't know, man.
I'm Adam, and I think that 200 is pretty good for 6 feet. That's not bad.
It's 210, I lied. I'm on Dayquil right now.
I retract that.
So much Dayquil.
I'm Vic, and I guess to make Andrew feel better, I'll disclose that I'm 6'1", and I weigh around 220. So,
well, Victor, you were overweight like a football player's overweight. Like you could break down a wall. I could break down and start crying into a powdered donut.
You're top heavy. If you fall down, it'll be in a good way.
I kind of look at it as I was in pretty good shape, and I am still in good enough shape that like it's not like I just have extra fat. It's like there's muscle and fat. So it kind of evens out. I just look just normal shaped, just like thicker, I guess.
And speaking of good-natured, friendly, huge monsters, that's our genre for this week.
I was going to say maybe you should replace some of your body parts with better body parts.
Yeah, but these are the kind of movies like The Iron Giant or E.T. or My Neighbor Totoro, which is what kind of inspired this whole thing. I like the music in that, so I used it in the opening, I think. Who knows what I'll do? But yeah,
you have a weird, like, past, present, future relationship with yourself right now.
I really do. I am Doctor Who right now.
Maybe I will yesterday do that sometime today.
But yeah, no. So now it's movies that involve like a kid making friends with a monster in the simplest way, and I'm going specifically... Monsters, Inc. is kind of like a reverse example of that, where monsters are the normal world, and they make friends with a kid, which is their monster.
Right. I was wondering, this is very close to one of your previous genres, exotic family animal. Am I right? It's just instead of an
yeah.
animal, it's a creature with sentience. Well,
yeah, honestly, it's a good thing we didn't have a subreddit, or I would be torn to shreds for making this choice.
I kind of feel like this is almost like a subdivision of that, or one.
Yeah.
One is definitely a subdivision of the other.
We're going deeper.
Yeah, but the Iron Giant is not an exotic animal.
No, you're right. But I think it's unique enough that we're filling in the gaps in our Venn diagram between like this and like say alien invasion or comedy sci-fi. We're all in the same subgenre family.
Do you guys know E.T. is a Sith Lord?
No, where's the lightning?
Okay, when his finger glows, that's the lightning. It's like a little bitty bit of lightning.
You know what? You're right.
Yeah! And also, like, there are little E.T. guys in Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, huh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's
So
a whole little
actually,
island of them.
There's in the Senate. There's like a thing.
A Senate island is what I meant.
That's kind of what they are. Like, they're big floating chairs.
Yeah. It's an archipelago of Congress.
So
Yeah. So, let's move on.
examples.
I gave examples.
Well, I only remember like Iron Giant and what else did you say? Maybe I wasn't listening.
E.T., The Water Horse, Never-Ending Story, My Neighbor Totoro.
Would you count Casper and like some of those more monstery ones?
I haven't seen Casper, but probably.
I was thinking Dragonheart.
Oh, yeah, that's one.
Yeah. Pete's Dragon. That's probably one.
How to Train Your Dragon? A lot of dragon ones.
Yeah, because dragons are monsters.
That's not sometimes dragons are the heroes.
Which
Like,
book are they in? Are they in the hero book or are they in the monster manual?
there's no such thing as a hero book.
Exactly.
But they're chaotic good. Or lawful good. If they're metallic.
Pete's Dragon's
Let's move
pretty
on
good, man.
to character time.
Okay.
This is the part where we go through. This is the part where we go through all of the characters that we've created without telling each other what they are.
Well,
So-
we tell each other what they are.
Right, okay. Wait, turn off your Skype.
It'd be a terrible podcast if no one talks.
We tell each other now. We didn't tell each other before now.
Right, so that we could all come in blind. All right. So, my character is Preston Riley.
All right.
Just jumping
I'm giving
right in
Victor
here.
time to type.
Second Riley of the season.
Woo!
Or no, that was Ridley. First Riley of the season.
Ah, crud. You know what? When you were talking about aliens, I was gonna insert, like, little bits of Newt just shouting, like, Ripley! but I forgot to do that. Oh well. Yeah, Preston is a little boy, about, like, 8 to 10 years old. He's got an unusually, like, high-pitched sort of voice, but, and, like, some people would, like, feel self-conscious about that, but he owns it. Like, he's a cool little kid. He's got a pink unicorn shirt.
I'm not sure how self-conscious can an 8-year-old be.
Not very, and that's one of their strengths.
Oh, yeah,
But
good
yeah,
point.
he is a rambunctious scamp that likes sports and physical activity. See, what I did for this one, I tried a new character creation method where I just, like, picked random characteristics and created a random person in The Sims.
Oh, and that's what you got.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it worked.
I approve. He's the poster child for this genre.
Yeah.
You need your little boy.
Yeah, maybe there are kids at school bullying him. Maybe his dad's like, man, I hate things that are a little bit gay, but he likes sports, so I guess I'm feeling kind of neutral. Social conservatism.
All right, then.
Adam, you to go next, I guess.
My character is Jack Lumber.
I need more Dayquil.
Jack Lumber. He's a lumberjack.
The end. Please tell me that's it.
But
Victor, your turn.
really though.
No.
No.
I think we're done. No, Victor, go ahead. It's your turn now.
No,
Adam, you're not. If you wrote anything else, you're not allowed to say it. That's it.
I didn't write anything else, but he's kind of he's a folksy, bearded gentleman, flannel wearing, hard worker, blue collar folk. He's just he likes maybe one day in the force he found something weird, but he's a Jack Lumber lumberjack.
Was he born Jack Lumber?
Yeah, he's like a fourth generation lumberjack, and I guess lumber's been the family name for a while. It's more ironic than like given. It's like in Harry Potter how all the wolf people have wolf names somehow.
Oh yeah, like Remus Lupin or whatever. You were really coming down hard on Harry Potter the other day.
It happens about once a month. It's my werewolf moment.
You just turn into a guy that hates Harry Potter.
Yep. That already happened this month. I was like, 5 movies!
I just checked. Lumber is not a last name. There is no one in the United States with the last name Lumber.
Did you spell with a B-A-R?
B-A-R. Like Lumbar?
Yeah, Lumbar.
I got Lombard.
Yeah, Lombard. Sure, that works better.
I mean, this is a theater of the mind, okay? We don't need to constrain ourselves to the balance of reality.
The why'd you challenge me?
We had a superhero episode.
All right, Jack. Moving on.
Because you challenged J.K. Rowling in her endless series of tweets that make random things canon.
Yeah.
Harry's favorite color is brown. I don't know. All right, Victor, it is now your turn to tell us about the character that you created without telling us about it beforehand of time.
Oh boy. Well, this is awkward. My character's a tree. No, I'm kidding. I'm...
I thought you were gonna say mine's a tree boy.
Yeah.
I'm writing that down. We're gonna put that in the episode.
All right.
Tree boy.
So my character, her name is Wordna Prowl. She is a 16-year-old young monster hunter in training. She was raised with a lot of prejudice against all monsters, and she aspires to one day avenge the disappearance of her father, which was somehow linked to some sort of monster that she hates.
I was 2 characters away from doing a monster hunter. Yeah, except he's going to be a demon hunter, which I'm not sure if we were going to do demons or not, hence why I didn't go with it.
That doesn't sound like it would work.
Demons, that's a different... Monsters are things that exist here. Demons are things that came from another place.
Yeah. All I know is that there's been a note in my phone for 2 months that says, Damon Hunter, Demon Hunter.
Ugh.
Guys, my pool's like dry. I'm scraping off of the bottom of the bucket.
Maybe we need to take a break. But anyway, Victor, what's her first name?
Genre break. The group
Genre
chilling
break.
machine. Sorry. It's here. I'll put it in the chat. It's a little bit of a weird name. Hold on.
Well, you started with Wordna, which rings a bell.
Yeah, no, that's just my name backwards with a Y instead of an E.
Cool, huh?
Yeah, but no, this is a Y word.
Yeah, Wordna was my space opera character.
Yep, but Wordna with a Y, Prowl. That's like an Autobot.
You talk
Is
about
Wordna an actual name?
You talk about the well being dry. I'll be honest, guys. We are now pretty saturated with original names of characters. So I feel like at this point, if we...
Yeah, but I'd expect 2 Bobs before 2 Wordnas.
It was the name I came up with. I wanted it to be like... See, because...
Andrew, my last name is Lumber, okay?
Yeah, like, why are we coming down on me for this? Why are we not talking about Andrew, or Adam's character?
We had comments about 3 similar names.
Yeah.
All right. So, young monster hunter in training. Does she have a master of sorts?
I imagined that she did. I kind of kept it open because I didn't know what you guys were going to come up with.
Reverend Deacon Bishop.
But since we have looking at what we do here, I'll just say, because I have like a kind of a vision. I imagine she lives in the woods, and I'm thinking there's a very, very small village, and she will have kind of like a grizzly old like mentor that knew her father and is trying to train her to kill these monsters. And she's very driven, like very like strong young character, But I imagine since
what's her age?
16.
16.
Oh, okay. You missed that.
What's her hair color?
Like a hazel brown.
Oh, really? She sounded like a redhead.
No, I picture her with like straight brown hair. Where's it?
Jack Lumber is full redhead.
Where's it back? Keep it out of her eyes.
Like
right.
on a like Sarah style hair?
Yeah, a little longer though. So
okay, great.
That helps our listeners. Now let's move on to story time.
Story time.
Opening up the book.
Yep, take a look. It's in a book. Adam, you go.
This is your job, Andrew.
We all go for this
I
one.
can do anything. All right. So,
I
okay,
mean,
we don't have a monster. That's the main problem.
You said the name of the segment. Do you want to tell us what the segment is?
Oh, yeah. Okay, story time is when we make a story. If you couldn't figure that out, I have bad news for you. Anyway.
The rest is probably not going to make any sense to you.
Yeah.
You're long gone. But, okay, Jack... Well, all right, so there's definitely woods. Wordness living in them. Jack's chopping them down.
There's a tree boy.
There could be a tree boy. We don't have a monster. We forgot to bring a monster to our friendly...
I thought there was
a
very good chance of somebody making a monster, so...
See, there's normally only one monster in these things, so I think we all had the instinct of, like, I can't make the monster, because what if we have two?
Damon Hunter was 2 characters ago. 1 character ago was... I just wrote Yummy Mummy, a mummy made of candy.
That is a dumb idea.
That's also horrifying, because if it's, like, actually, like... edible good candy, then instead of us being afraid of the mummy would live in fear of us eating it alive.
You guys represent my 2 trains of thought. This is terrible. Everyone's going to eat him.
Okay, let's make a monster.
We could do Tree Boy. That's not half bad.
Oh, hang on. I'm going to open up my monster manual here. Is there some kind of tree-based monster?
In Lord of the Rings, it'd be an Ent, right?
Yeah. But they're not very, like, evil.
No, well, he doesn't necessarily... He's friendly. He could be from a bunch of evil tree people that are... And he's a refugee from the Tree Wars. I'm spitballing. Just
I think
stop me.
This might be as dumb idea as the Yummy Mummy.
Hey, we need a monster.
Bearded devil.
Tell you what, since like I said, I pictured Wordna being from the woods, so perhaps the monster can be something that we imagine living in woods, something kind of Bigfoot-esque, but not Bigfoot.
Bigfoot-esque. Like a big bear type monster.
Oh, you know what? I've got a great one for this.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the legend of the Squonk?
No.
No.
Okay.
I want... Fill me with Squonk.
Oh, God. Have you guys heard my new band, Fill Me with Squonk?
I feel like that's the album.
Okay.
But Andrew, is it a mythical creature reputed to live in the hemlock forest of northern PA?
No, but it is a mythical creature reputed to live in the hemlock forest of northern Pennsylvania. Legends of squonks probably originated in the late 19th century, at the height of Pennsylvania's importance in the timber industry, or lumber.
Ooh. Man, I should name him Jack Timber. That's better.
You could change it.
Nope.
It's better than...
Okay,
dude,
but
honestly,
basically
normally I'd be like, no, man, you made your bed, sleep in it, but, like, you can change it.
or Timber Lumber. His nickname's Tim.
Okay, you guys need to stop being high right now.
Oh my god, wait. His last name is, like, B-I-R-H, Burr. First name, Timothy.
Yep, that's his that's his best bud.
Tim
Like
Burr.
Raymond Burr?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm cool with it.
Anyway, the squonk is a creature that's like, it's kind of like a quadrupedal, sort of, just like a hideous thing. It's like, it's got ill-fitting, loose skin, like a Shar-Pei. It's covered in warts, and it's so ugly that it hides away all the time and just cries. And if someone catches it, it can cry so much that it dissolves into a puddle. And then, like, actually, I think it might just die then. That's sad.
Andrew, this is a sad monster. This is not Disney friendly, okay? We need the money for this
Also,
movie.
the Google images are, like, hauntingly weird.
Yeah, it looks like if you took the skin off an elephant and it didn't shrink at all, and you just put the fat, gross, misshapen skin on a sad pig.
That is pretty accurate, and
Sounds like a description of my love life. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Okay, well, how about a hodag?
a hodag.
Yeah.
This episode of Genre Bar is brought to you by Hodag.
A folkloric animal of the American state of Wisconsin. Its history is focused mainly around the city of Rhinelander.
Hodag's better. He looks like an.
Yeah, and it's in Paul Bunyan stories. Who is a lumberjack?
Oh, that's even better.
This is good.
Yeah, let's do Hodag. He's like
I can work with this.
an American dragon type.
Yeah, like an American dragon, Jake Long.
No, not Jake Long. Like American, dragon. Like a Drexel, right?
Yeah, it's got like buffalo horns and like a big shaggy coat and spikes all over and like a tail. And
Yeah, he looks fun. So it has what's our boy's name? Preston has Preston. Preston sounds like a prissy, like rich kid name.
Not as much as Chad
Yeah.
or Brock.
Chad Rock.
Chad Brock.
Oh, Chad Brock. I thought it was like one name, one word. I'm like,
Chad Rock.
yeah, I'm like, whoa.
Oh,
Yeah, that is
Chad
pretty
Rock, come
prissy.
down for sup.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, we could do let's do a Hodag.
Hodag. Sounds
Okay,
like it
so-
sounds like it sounds like something a redneck would like name his motorcycle.
This is my hog, Hodag.
I don't know. Like
Yeah.
it just something about it sounds vaguely like southerner.
Which is why we're going to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I guess that's our next thing: is where is this, and like what kind of world is this? Like, is it like actually?
a world filled with cheese and beer.
Well, like, is it America? Like, is there civilization that we recognize, or is this like a mythical thing? Is this like a fantasy kind of place where monsters exist?
Well, your character is very fantasy applicable, based on what you described, but I think it could just be like...
We can.
I was thinking more like almost a Twilight sort of setup where like there's a masquerade and monsters are real, but like
Urban fantasy is what you're talking about, right?
yeah, just general urban fantasy.
Yeah, we can actually rework it that way. We can maybe say that like it is just like a regular suburban area of the U.S., but there's like this underground community, and this girl got caught up in it because of her father, and that could be a thing. And maybe like Preston's going to be. I get the impression that these two are going to be our main characters. We got like this like 9-year-old boy and a 16-year-old girl, and
Yeah, I'd focus on Preston as our main protagonist, and Wordna comes into the fray as, maybe it has to be more than just he finds the monster, the Hodag, and she wants to kill it.
actually, I mean, I kind of look at it as like Preston being that like innocent little kid that is like mostly comic relief, but also is like just a plot vehicle. And Wordna's the one that has like all the lines and like all the driving plot to her. Like, okay, I picture if this was like Despicable Me, like the kids are Preston and Gru or whatever is Wordna. Where it's like Wordna is the character that we see the most and has like the most lines and story and stuff, but the kids are important because they're like the whole plot, and they're like cute and they're funnier and stuff like that, and they mix things up. You know, because like Wordna's like out to kill these monsters.
Wordna's just a regular monster hunter until Preston comes along with Hodag.
Yeah. Well, that
Yeah.
could be a thing because, right, exactly. And then it could all start off with like she's 16 and he's 9. Maybe she babysits.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that's a good relationship.
Yeah, so like she's babysitting this kid, and then like he keeps playing with like toys or talking about like his friend Monster or whatever, and she just like lashes out and is like, "No, monsters are bad. You shouldn't be playing with them like they're fun." You know, you go like, "But they are fun." You know, like
She's reading him stories about how knights slave like dragons and stuff like that, and he's like, "No, but what if they just hung out and played ball?"
well, there's a good moment for exposition that's not clunky, because she could say like, "Trust me, monsters are not cool," and she can like tell the story of how her father disappeared, and that could be
a monster got him.
yeah.
Like a scary story, which makes her a bad babysitter, honestly.
Well, she's going to have a little journey to go on. You know, she'll start off maybe not in a great place.
Yeah, I follow that.
Preston, do Mr. and Mrs. Riley at any point ask her, like, "So, where do you live?" "Oh, the Woods Street." Wood Street, where's that? It's a couple of towns, over.
I live at the intersection of Oak and Bigger Oak.
Can there be a scene where, like, can there be somebody else that walks by right at that moment and is like, "Oh, Wood Street? Yeah, isn't that like on the other side of town?"
Who the hell's John F. Kennedy?
Nice.
Yeah. That's pretty good. What's Jack doing in this? The first thing that came to my mind was Jack Lumber was her mentor, but he doesn't seem. Is he a monster hunter, or is he just a regular lumberjack?
He's in the woods, man.
He seems pretty salt of the earth in general.
Yeah.
I think when they go on their journey, he's going to be just someone that they run into.
Is he like a guide?
Wait. Question. The Hodag, like, what's the mythos there? What do they do? Do they do anything that, like, harms anyone in the woods? Or, like, would the lumberjack have any reason to want to kill the Hodag?
It is supposedly just a fierce sort of beast. It actually originated as a hoax.
Oh. Huh. So it's a hoax made real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we could do the How to Train Your Dragon route of, there's rumors that this thing does terrible things, but it's really pretty harmless. But it does have razor-sharp claws.
Yeah. Oh, wait, what if it, like, actually uses those to, like, scrape bark or something, or whatever, like a Therancinosaurus?
Oh, nice.
We have a pretty solid...
That's a relatable example.
We have a pretty solid setup, but what's our driving plot?
Yeah, good points. We need opposition.
Conflict.
I was originally thinking, like, all right, Jack, in this scenario, Jack just wants to chop the whole forest down. Like, that's his... He's a very simple man.
And the Hodag's just like a Lorax.
It's his environment, Hodag. He's the protector of these woods.
And he's got, like, a big, scary mouth like a hippopotamus, and he goes around at night and grazes.
Yeah, something like that. He's destroying the environment, but that's very same obvious. Everyone does the green Aesop. Can we do better than that? Can we say, all right, Jack is... Yeah.
You guys heard my new band, Green Aesop?
It's not bad.
What kind of monsters is Wordna's group hunting? Like, is that a all-over-the-place thing? Or are they just Hodag hunters around here?
Actually, I have an idea. What if Preston doesn't know that it's called a Hodag, and he has some stupid name, like he I don't know, he's Jeffrey or something just really derpy, like, I don't know. This is Bert, my friend Bert. You know, and he's, okay, Bert. Whatever. But like, Bert is a Hodag, because like that'll be her thing. Is like, you know, they'll have some rough like sketch hand drawn that somebody that caught a glimpse of him. It's like this terrifying beast, and it's like an approximation of the Hodag. And then when she finally sees Bert, or whatever we decide to name him, you know, she'll just be like, you know, like, not exactly what I pictured or whatever.
Yeah, that could be pretty good. In this world, there could be various monsters across the globe, and her community is responsible for, like, in every type of area they take these down. The Hodag is one in this kind of American region.
Like, if she were an Adam character, the group would have, like, an alliteration name.
Yep.
Well, I was thinking there could just be, like, monsters kind of willy-nilly. Like, there's the Jersey Devil, there's the Bigfoot, there's Champ, the lake monster, there's Ogopogo, there's the skunk ape.
In this world, they're all real, and therefore because they're real, there's groups that hunt them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they kind of range... Let's say it's not like... It's just kind of a natural human reaction to go monster hunting. Like, ever since the days of, like, the mammoths and stuff. You know, like, everything from, like, vampire slayers to just, like, trophy hunters that go after, like, Sasquatch and stuff.
Yeah, okay. I like that. Like, it's almost an... Should it be, like, almost an occupation in this town? Like, you have...
I don't... Yep. No, I think we should maintain a masquerade.
I actually want the town to think that they're crazy. Like, there aren't any monsters. Like, what are you doing?
I guess my point is, do they roll into town, or are they already established there?
I think they're already established, but they're secret.
They're secret, like underground, like no one that they just talk amongst themselves.
Like, I want one of the, like, higher uppers to be like one of her teachers or something. Like,
ooh, that's neat.
Like, yeah, like, you know, they're at school, and he'll just be like, you know, see me after class, you know, and he's just like, there's a meeting tonight, don't be late, you know, and then, like, it's all these random people in the community that are paranoid about this monster, and they just, you know what I mean? Like, I want it to mostly be, like, they're just a bunch of crazy paranoid people, but they end up actually being right.
Yeah, it's underground, but maybe they have dealt with Hodags in the past. Like, it's a secret tradition passed among members of this town for, like, generations. Like, they're Hodag, like, they know that there's monsters, and they have their kind of backwoods way of dealing with them.
Yeah.
Should there be like a thing where she's assuming that a monster took her dad, but there might be, like, some other kind of, like, thing that happened that's one of those, like, oh, hey, touching on an issue here, you know, like, maybe he, like, walked out on her mom or something like that.
I was gonna say, yeah, her dad abandoned her, and her coping mechanism is imagining that this monster took him.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think a monster could have killed him. Like, I'm kind of picturing the Hodag filling the same ecological niche as, like, a hippo, and hippos are dangerous.
Yeah, he could very well have been killed by one. But it's more of all right, it's like, what do we want her to realize? That Hodags aren't bad? That they're okay? Is that the end goal?
Well,
how Trainer
like
Dragon
I said,
style?
I think for her journey, I want it to end with her like letting go of all this rage she has for monsters and realizing that what happened with her dad was not like instead of blaming monsters, she should just learn to kind of accept it.
What if her dad went out and like he invaded the Hodag's kind of, like, territory, and, like, you know, he was stupid and got eaten for it?
Yeah, something like that too. Killed. Like, maybe the Hodag can reveal
had nothing to do with it.
Well, maybe he can reveal, like, hey, like, you know, there are good people and bad people, right? Well, guess what? There are good monsters and there are bad monsters. You know, like, can't be all prejudicial like that, man.
Yes, that's what it is. It's that not all Hodags hashtag. Yeah, no, I like it.
They're not monsters, Lex. They're just animals.
I would like to name this teacher mentor figure of hers, and I have a new method of naming her. I found this book from the Professional Bowlers Association, a guide to better bowling. And in the back, it has a list of bowler names. So, Victor, I want you to say when, and my finger's going to land on a name.
Okay.
And wait till you hear these names. All right, anytime.
What is it? You want me to just say stop?
Just say stop.
Okay.
Just say when.
Stop.
When?
Okay. Nelson Burton.
So, Mr. Burton.
Junior.
Mr. Burton Jr.
Yeah, that could be it.
All right. So he can be just like this crazy dude that is like a normal. I feel like there's a lot of material there where he could be in class and he could be like,
What would be the best subject for him to teach?
Oh, definitely history.
I was going to say.
Because he can be like, so then, Abraham Lincoln was just watching a play and then he got shot. Or, there weren't any cameras or anything. There totally could have been a beast. A beast could have killed him.
Fairies!
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. That could have... Yeah. There's all kinds of...
Was the fall of Rome due to bureaucratic difficulties with establishing an empire that large, or could it possibly have been fairy godparents?
Yeah.
Or maybe some extraterrestrial beings.
That sounds like that could have been a musical number.
Yeah, I approve of Mr. Burden. All right, so yeah, he's kind of maybe the head of their local this underground. They meet in the church at every other Sunday. No, not Sunday. Every other Friday, and for like cookies and talking about killing monster sightings and what they can do about it. Hunter community, maybe. Yeah, so they have their own methods of dealing with it. And
do we want to give this like clan sort of a name? It's like society. It's like
I don't know.
Assemblage.
Victor, what do you think?
About what?
It's about giving their group a name.
Yeah, but it has to be something that's like not super creative, like something that just like normal people would come up with.
The community of monster-hating friends.
Something like the.
Like maybe something that just sounds really dumb, like an acronym that ends up spelling like butt or something.
I was saying something like just some kind of brigade, like concerned citizen brigade, or just
CCB.
like something that very innocent sounding, working towards an acronym. Yeah, let's see.
How about monster elimination group? So like Meg.
I was thinking something like fantastic annihilation. I was going to spell farts. Okay, maybe not.
That's a little too goofy.
It's as goofy as butts, but right now I have Concerned Parents and Neighbor Society. It doesn't spell anything, but I just, for some reason, I want it to sound like that. Oh, maybe they just have a town hall meeting, but it's really about monsters.
Yeah, I kind of like that because it's under the radar.
Yeah,
people are like, oh, that sounds nice. I guess whatever.
All right. Hang on. All right, I got the perfect one. Concerned Parents and Neighborhood Friend group team.
Team.
Yeah, we're the Concerned Parents and Neighborhood Friends team.
That's not bad. I was actually thinking it would be funny if it was just like an acronym that was way too long and didn't spell anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, the team of Concerned Parents and Neighborhood Friends. And Mr. Burns is maybe their leader, and he's really kind of upbeat, but still crazy about it. All right, so Preston, what scenario do you want to have Preston meet the Hodag? Do we want it to? Oh, he's just kind of doing these little hints earlier with Wordna, making drawings and stuff, and then later it turns out that he's like, I'm gonna go outside and feed my friend.
Yeah, I do kind of want like him to just already know him.
And then she goes up there and she's like, Preston, what are you doing? And she sees the Hodag with his giant teeth, and then maybe she goes into into action mode, and she pulls out like some gadgets to fight him with.
I was thinking like some kind of knives, because you're not a good monster hunter if you use gadgets. You got to use knives.
Well, we don't want to fatally. Good points, but we don't want to fatally wound Hodag We
I
want
think she rolls too low for its armor class and like catches it on one of the spines or something.
Well, I'm thinking like rogue stuff, like she uses like a bola or like various like trapping mechanisms to ensnare it, because maybe their goal isn't to just straight up slay it right away. Maybe she needs like a buddy to confirm it to say, oh,
Right.
hey,
You said gadgets, and I thought like Ghostbusters, which I think is too high tech for what I'm picturing.
it is. You're right. Yeah, okay. So yeah, maybe she does that type of stuff, and then Hodag is like sneering at her, and Preston, of course, gets in the way and says, "Hey, don't do that. He's my friend. This is my buddy Bert."
Bert is a good name. Looking at the statue here,
I'm happy with Bert.
I just tried to think of just a dumb name, not a dumb name, but just something that sounds like, I don't know,
All right.
like super.
We've lost all Bert listeners.
Yeah.
Although,
How many Berts do you know?
I'm a little concerned that we have a Bert and a Burden.
maybe he named him after the teacher.
Because he's mean and scary like the teacher.
Oh, that's yeah.
Huh. That's actually interesting. Although that he teaches 16 like sophomores in a high school.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he would know the 9-year-old boy.
Maybe
Like
he's like a mean neighbor. Also,
he's leading the neighborhood team, so he's probably known across the neighborhood.
Yeah. What if it's like kind of a smaller town?
Yeah, I'm thinking small town, definitely. Small town in kind of Wisconsin-ish, like middle America.
Yeah,
You get
perhaps.
I think definitely Wisconsin.
okay, great. All right, and so I think, should Jack Lumber come in as the antagonist? Should he say,
Oh my god, we haven't done anything with Jack Lumber.
we need more Jack Lumber in this world?
Oh man, we haven't put the character in anything yet. All right. Yes.
All right, so
I was almost thinking he could be a good guy, because maybe what we eventually find out is that like Bert is like Jack's pet, and then Jack ends up joining them in trying to like fend off the monster hunters.
Oh, I see. It's like that. It's like that sort of scenario where like a cat just kind of wanders off, and you start feeding it, and then you find out that it's been like slipping off its collar.
yeah, it's almost like a, or Jack's familiar with a lot. He's woodsy. He's familiar with all the beasts of the land, and he knows this Hodag in particular.
That right there is a beautiful creature, and you got no right to stick your monster hunting knives into its soft, meaty flesh.
The townsfolk think that Hodag is a beast. I think the Hodag is a friend. I said to myself, all right, as few words as possible. Very, like, no two-syllable words.
The Hodag is a guardian in the forest, see, and to hurt it would be to slap mommy nature right in the head.
Yeah, that's our Jack Lumber. Okay, so do they follow Hodag back to Jack Lumber's wood house while the mob of concerned parents and neighborhood friends chases after them?
I feel like he's an Act 2 reveal. Like they end up on the run, and the Hodag just darts into the woods, and they follow him, and he ends up going back home to the lumberjack.
All right. Yeah, that could be it. Do we want to have an E.T. style scene where, well, maybe not E.T., where Preston takes Hodag into school with him, and ensuing mischief ensues.
I was gonna say, I don't think the Hodag could fit into like a bicycle basket.
Well, maybe maybe what happens is while she's babysitting him, he tries to like pass it off as the Hodag's like under a tarp, and he's like, "That's just my dad's car." He says he doesn't want anyone touching it.
And then it moves, and he's like, "Dad must let the car on. Don't touch it. I know you don't have your license yet."
Yeah, plenty you could do there.
Yeah. That's good. All right? So when does Wordna turn in her opinion of the Hodag? When she goes from hunting it to saying, "Oh, Hodag's cool. I'm cool with him."
I think maybe Jack Lumber turns her over to the good side.
Is she iffy until then?
Yeah, like,
Is
look
she-
over at everything the light touches, and you'll see that the majesty of nature created by Gao includes that big ugly pig thing.
She could be one of the people chasing it because remember they're on the run and she's part of that group. So what could happen is maybe she's just so determined that she goes way ahead of them, finds him, follows him, and that could be the big thing. She like busts into the cabin or wherever they are, and then the lumberjack kind of talks her down, and then that could be how she changes sides.
Yeah, that could be it. Between those two things, maybe she meets the Hodag first off, and then she goes back to the team, and she's like, "Hey, Hodag, real Hodag, it's real, it's here, it's nearby. I know where to find him." And she brings him to there. And maybe, what if it's like the Boy Who Cried Wolf type scenario, where she's like, "He's right here with Preston," and he's nowhere to be found. And she's got gets the short end of the stick because she's younger and.
And then, like, the group all leaves, and he just, like, Bert just bursts out of a pile of leaves or something.
Yeah, he was hiding in the foliage. And Preston's like, Bert got scared, so yeah.
I just realized I've just been picturing Eduardo from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends this whole time.
Honest, that's not too bad. A little too round, maybe put him on all fours. And give him a tail.
He has a tail.
A longer one. A
Hooray!
better one.
and spikes. More spikes. He's got the
We
horns,
have created a tail on him.
Okay, yeah, so maybe that's it. Maybe Warden is almost like... She has to kind of feign being his friend. She's trying to get on his good side so that her team will believe her. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's, like, kind of playing nice with Preston, and so, yeah, eventually, yeah, we have around the end of Act 1 where Hodag runs off into the back to the woods, and Preston's chasing him. Warden has to chase him because she's responsible. She's being in an entrusted adult position right now. So, yeah, and they go back and they meet Jack Lumber out in the forest, who's a very, woodsy man. He loves all the creatures of nature under the white sun, including Hodag. And... Do the townsfolk eventually, do they find them in the cabin? Do they say, "Hey, we found you. We don't like you. Let's get rid of you"?
I think what's going to happen...
And then he just becomes Freddy Krueger.
Well, I think Act 2 is going to be, like, trying to balance, like, she's still part of the monster hunting community, and she's got all these confused feelings now, but, like, she's also trying to help Jack Lumber out with something... Like, that's going to be the thing, is there's conflict, And Preston can try and help her to try to, like, understand, like, hey, like, this is my friend. They're cool. Like, what's your problem?
There could be a scene at the end where, like, Nelson's his first name?
Yeah, Nelson.
Yeah, Nelson's like, "Oh, there's been sightings of Sasquatch over here. We need to find him and bring him to justice." And then Warden's just like, how about we try checking and making sure it's actually a problem first? Okay, that sounds rational.
Yeah, like...
they learn that hashtag not all monsters.
Not all Hodags. I like to comment that Hodag is an amazing monster name. That is so much fun to say.
It really is.
Yeah.
And
I want to name my firstborn Hodag.
What'd you say?
I want to name my firstborn Hodag.
Hodag? I wouldn't blame you at all.
Hodag, Hodor, Lemma.
Hodag.
Yeah.
Are you really going to name your...
No.
Were you really planning on Hodor?
Hodag Lemma.
I don't know, if he comes out big and strong.
Well, how will you know if it's a baby?
Big, strong baby.
Have you guys heard my new band, Big Strong Baby?
We were killing it with that. My band is the team of concerned parents and neighborhood friends. But,
That's pretty good.
Okay, I want this to not be the... I want what happens in the second act into the third act not to just be what happens in Skyfall, where they're just protecting the house from bad people. They're not just home alone in his cabin to keep the Hodag away. There's got to be some change here. Maybe they find out that the Hodag is actually really dangerous. Like, maybe he just breathes fire or something crazy.
Oh, darn.
That they didn't know he could do. and Preston gets, like, scared. Like, he was his friend until, oh my god, he set that tree on fire.
Oh, I just thought of an Act 3 twist.
Yeah.
Jack Lumber, I think, maybe found Bert when he was just a little baby monster because he got separated from the others. And perhaps Hodags actually are bad. But
oh wait, no, they just find him and he's like a pupa.
But no, I'm just saying, like, maybe maybe they are.
He comes out as like a full dragon or something.
Like, maybe they are pretty bad, but he's not because he was raised by Jack Lumber.
He's in adolescence, yeah, and that's a nature versus nurture thing. That's also it harkens back to a lot of domesticating animals and how long it takes. You can't take an animal like one generation out of the wild and it to be domesticate, right, Andrew?
Yeah.
Yeah, it usually takes like 4 or something like that, 4 generations.
A lot of generations, I would say. There actually is some learning between the generations of animals. Like, for example, Japanese sweet potatoes aren't native to Japan, right?
Right.
Where's he going with this?
Dude, I've learned.
When I said
you know what? I'm going to leave it there. I'll leave it up in the air.
I've learned to just wait, man. Just wait, and just it'll all come around.
There's always a payoff, right?
Nope, I'm not paying you off this time. I'm going to leave you hanging this time. Sweet potatoes aren't native to Japan.
I'm sure that's a generation thing. Okay, no, that is a good twist. That they find out that these are actually really monsters. But Hodag, he was raised okay, but he's got some dangerous stuff inside him. Maybe he smells blood. Like, it's a shark thing.
So these Japanese macaques, right? They saw people washing the sweet potatoes, and then they learned how, and they teach it to each other through generations and generations of macaques. Huh. Also, they take baths in hot springs. It's just washing potatoes and taking baths in hot tubs. That's the life I want to lead. If I could be any animal, I would be a Japanese macaque.
So is the team going to kill Hodag? The answer is no. This is a family movie. Kids are going to cry if Hodag dies. So Hodag can't die.
But I want there to be a really scary scene though, where they corner him or something, and then he suddenly gets this really scary expression on his face and roars at them, and they're like, "Oh my god," and then there's this, like you said, there's a moment where they wonder, is he inherently good or bad? How does that work?
Maybe they have to send him back to the wild or what have you.
Well, actually,
they need to take him away in a helicopter to Africa.
Because the questions here are going to be, I like the idea of it being hey, you can't just judge someone because of what you see. Everyone's different and has the potential for good or bad. But there's also going to be an underlying thing of well, he doesn't belong here. He's not with his own kind. So that's going to be, I think, the thing that needs to resolve by the end.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be the end of Ice Age 2. Or maybe that's Ice Age 3. No, Ice Age 3 was Dawn of the Dinosaurs. It had to have been Ice Age 2.
I saw Pete's Dragon recently, and it's almost exactly like this movie in terms of every step along the way. What's the end? So do the monster hunters just go back to normal? I imagine them seeing a ferocious actual monster would put more energy into them, would put more fear and anger and
I got it.
Bad stuff.
I got it.
Whoever owed first gets it.
He roars, right, because they corner him, and it scares them. And that roar is so loud that it actually alerts the nearest community of Hodags, and they all show up and attack the town.
Oh no!
And
my
now
God.
the Hodag has to help save everyone. And by the time it's over, they realize, that thing that we were trying to kill ended up saving our lives. And that could be a thing where they learn
So wait, are the monster hunters then attacking the Hodags that are attacking the town?
They would, definitely. Yeah.
Or like
well-
it wouldn't be. I'm not picturing it being like a massive fight. More like people running and hiding because it's like we are not prepared for this.
Yeah,
You know.
maybe that's it. The monster hunters like put down their pitchforks. They were like, we can't. I'm a farmer.
We should call the military or something.
And then
Where's the police?
And then maybe like the Hodag goes out there, and there's like this touching moment where he like convinces the Hodags to leave everyone alone.
Andrew, to answer your question, they're isolated. They would get the military, the police eventually, but like for the time being, this is happening in a very short window.
Right.
And plus, they've been doing underground illegal hunting practices for a long time, so I don't think they want to get a lot of attention.
Right. Why don't they just call the Avengers?
I was just thinking that where everyone's like, how come like Rhodey wasn't at Avengers? It's like, that all happened pretty quick. Like the military probably couldn't get there really that fast.
But like Iron Man can go from like California to Afghanistan in like 5 seconds.
He went to China in the Chinese version.
He went to China in the Chinese version.
So, Mr. Burden, I want an ironic but fitting end for him.
Like a Disney death?
Yeah, it's like, that's like the cliche on my mind right now that, he gets eaten by a Hodag, haha. Get it? Because he was the bad guy.
Yeah,
but part of me wants there be a better ending for him.
I kind of want him to be the one that kept riling everyone up about killing Hodags, and then at the end, everyone learns like, oh, they're not too bad, but he's still like, no, they're evil, they must die, and everyone decides, nah, you know what, no. And,
they all abandon him.
Yeah, and they like, I don't know.
That's pretty good. Yeah,
they tar and feather him. They cast him out.
So what's the townsfolk's response to? Because what I'm getting here, I'm having a hard time seeing them say, "Oh, they're all okay," when after the Hodags attack. If you know what I'm saying.
Or maybe, well, like I said, I don't picture it being like this apocalyptic, like carnage. Like it's just they show up, they.
I pictured a couple people getting impaled.
Yeah, I pictured like a battle scene and there's fire everywhere.
Fire everywhere. Like a water tower is just fallen over and it's on fire. That's how you know you screwed up.
I thought it was a fire tower. but yeah, something. Yeah. So is their reaction? Oh, there's some good ones, or is it? Oh, we're not equipped for this. Yeah.
We need to prepare for an incoming monster war. Like, that sounds like the Lexington and Concord of, like, the monster-human war. That does not sound like, let's all get along.
Well, what comes to mind for me is that it could be like a mama bear scenario, where it's like, oh, they're just trying to get their young back. And maybe once everyone sees the Hodags reunited, and they stop being violent then. And they're like, oh, they just wanted the little one back.
Okay.
So I think that solves most of our problems if we do that. One more in the home stretch. Let's flesh out Jack Lumber just a little bit more. Like one or two more. Like what if Mr. Burden was also his teacher, and maybe in the past he was a monster hunter, along with them. But in living in the woods, and he had a change of heart after coming across one that maybe he was okay with. Right.
I fell to my knees like a mighty oak, and boy did the tears flow as I learned of the majesty of the natural world, even that which lay unseen by man. I'm not a little drunk.
Yeah, so, that's when he met the Bert for the first time. Maybe that is what changed his mind on this subject.
Yeah.
He quit, joined the woods. he became one of the trees.
Nice.
And started jacking that lumber.
Let's not go there.
Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up.
Yeah. And Wardna, she like all the townsfolk changes her opinion. What's her end relationship with Preston? Is she still gonna be helping him with like coloring and books with him? Drawing.
I think she'll go back to babysitting him, but like she'll actually hang out with him and.
Oh yeah, she's no longer like distant, snooty.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, hey, well, we're not too different, you and I.
Cut from the same cloth, you and I.
What was that?
I think it's supposed to be like the Skywalker theme or whatever.
For some reason.
Yeah, but it's like the bit where he's like looking out at the two suns.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Why not like the end
And
of Empire?
now-
End of Empire. That's what I'm picturing.
It's time for the 5-minute limit.
5-minute
time.
limit. This, I don't
For
know.
the 5.
This one, I feel like it pretty much named itself.
Yeah, the team of concerned parents and neighborhood friends, right?
TCPNF.
Right, guys? Yeah, it's like a RIPD. No,
Not all Hodags.
I was just thinking, Hodag. Or the Hodag.
like the Lorax.
Yeah.
That's fine. It could be like my friend. What's the name of Totoro? The full name?
My Neighbor Totoro.
I was going to say my friend Bert. And on the poster, you see the big fat dragon-like monster.
Well, it's like we said, Hodag's so fun to say.
It is fun,
Yeah.
but it's almost like it's almost a little too laughable.
Nah. It's like the Babadook. That was a serious horror movie, and
You're
it's
right.
called the Babadook.
Yeah.
Okay, good point.
It's context, man. It's like, what's, Hodag, that's weird. It's like, well, watch the movie, man.
And then you see, like, I'm picturing the poster being like a promotional poster would be like just the tail as it like walks back into like a thicket of trees.
Yeah, just you don't see the whole thing, just like a big hand, a big clawed hand.
Yeah. Well,
Or-
no, not that, because that's scary, and we
Well,
want to say like it's like
what
a
about
kid's
what
movie,
about a
sort
big
of.
clawed hand, and then you see like the little boy Preston, like holding up his hand to it.
Oh, like they're high-fiving or something.
Yeah, like they're high fiving, but he's big and scary, and he's little and
He taught him to high-five and sit.
yeah, it's like he maybe he does the Terminator thing where like throughout the movie he's doing he's showing him like cool expressions.
I'm
Hey, this
picturing
was-
Totoro with sunglasses and a leather jacket. He looks pretty cool.
Yeah, like if this was early 2016, he would like dap or whatever.
Yeah. That'd be kind of funny to watch him dap. Like, he'd just be like waving his arms around.
Yeah, okay, the Hodag it is.
The Hodag.
The Hodag.
Nice.
All right.
It's gonna be a Hodag tonight. Hodag tonight, I know. I just wanted to do something for the ending theme.
I noticed that you've been kind of foreshadowing the ending themes more.
Yeah, I am a wizard.
Oh, there you go.
Thanks for listening, guys. If you want to listen to more, you can find us on our website, tinyurl.com/genrebot. We're also on Facebook, on the page Genrebot. We're also on Twitter, on Genrebot Podcast. We are not at Genrebot. They deserve to be destroyed.
We should probably stop plugging them if they should be destroyed.
Yeah,
Their icon is still an egg. They destroyed themselves long ago. They fell victim to their own hubris. Anyway, we're also on Spreaker, Stitcher, Omni, wherever quality podcasts are sold. Not that we will ever charge money for this crap.
No?
No, that would be a sin of the highest order. But anyway, next week.
we're doing another finale.
Yep, the season just got wrapped, gentlemen.
This was totally a season, guys.
I believe it was.
I think so. I mean, it's all a blur.
It's all right. What's it called? Centennial's 100. I guess 50
It's
is just like your silver. It's our
Semi-centennial? Semi-centennial?
Maybe.
Bicentennial, right?
No, a bicentennial is 200. I like semi-centennial.
Okay. Bicentennial divided by 4.
Yeah, bicentennial over 4. There you go.
It's a quarter bicentennial.
Wait, no, it's not a centennial at all, because we haven't been doing this for 50 years.
We did it for 50 episodes.
Well, it's not a
49
centennial.
anyway.
No.
I hope you had fun listening, and you listen again.
All right. Yeah. Well, great season. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you at the finale.
Yeah, we're going to be doing the same thing as the last time. Old episodes redone with a studio executive playing with the strings of fate,
Yes.
as is our tradition. So, until then, don't hurt us. We're a friendly monster. I'm on Dayquil.
My claws may be sharp, but my heart is sharper.
I was born to do the thing that my name suggests.
Victor?
Yep, I win all the time.
Ah. All right. Good night.
Good night.
Gute Nacht.